He's doing good. They said they got all the cancer,
Good.
but he's still got 2 spots.
Okay.
And he's asking them to take them off. They won't take them off because they're not bad enough.
We are
She said
on.
we're on.
Yeah.
We're on. Okay.
I know, I just didn't know if you wanted everybody and their grandma to hear.
I didn't know we were,
I mean, it's 6 o'clock.
Yes.
um,
Thank you.
Greg roll.
Good evening. Welcome to the Ripley County Council meeting. Please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It is August the 18th, 6 p.m. We're here at the Ripley County Council monthly meeting in the Ripley County Courthouse Annex Commissioners Room. This meeting is officially open, and I need a motion to approve the minutes from the July 21st, 25 meeting. Do
I'll
I
make the
have that?
motion.
David, do I have a second?
a second.
Ron has seconded the motion. Any discussion? Were there any changes to the minutes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. If you approve, those opposed, same sign.
I'm just gonna abstain
Three,
since
four.
I wasn't at the last meeting.
You
Uh,
can still vote.
Oh, I can't, okay, well then count me.
5 with
As long as you read it and you're okay with what they did, like,
Yeah,
our new business transfers. We have extension, $942. We're transferring that from general telephone to postage. They need stamps for mileage, for mailings. And I have asked before about this, $942. They do use the bulk mailing, but if they just have a few envelopes or something, they said, mileage and everything to come to do it, it's just more convenient for them to have some stamps and put some stamps on it instead of coming down here and using the metered.
Well, it is a transfer, so they have the money. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, Ron has moved, Stan seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign, 5-0. We have the sheriff, $117.99. This is for new deputies' clothing.
Motion.
Stan has moved, do I have a second?
second.
Stephanie has seconded the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign, 5-0. We have 1,000, this is Sheriff's Department, these are transfers, $1,529.99. This is a new Calvar vest for the Sheriff's Department, for a deputy. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Stephanie moves, do we have a second?
Yeah, I got a second.
Stan has seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. 5-0. This is Circuit Court, $500. The mileage fund has been depleted, and there are more conferences and trainings to attend. This
Motion.
is a transfer. Ron has moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Stephanie seconds the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign, 5-0. These are additional appropriations. This is the Sheriff's Department, an appropriation for $2,428. What this is for, the sheriff has been here 2 months, meetings ago. This is for devices that would monitor inmates' physical conditions. Do I have a motion to approve this request?
I do have one
Additional
question.
appropriation. Uh-huh.
I do have one question on this. When I looked at this earlier, I noticed it's something we've been going over, but I cannot remember if this is a monthly fee we have to pay, and if it is, how much and who who is going to be required to pay that monthly fee?
Did he go over
as
this
well?
with us? He brought it up, but I don't think he went over everything with it, did he?
You're supposed to come back.
That's what I
Talk about it
thought
again.
tonight,
Yes.
so I'm not gonna vote for it.
I would
because
like-
I don't know if there's a monthly fee to it or not.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Let me look back here.
I just can't remember.
Okay, you want to just wait? And we'll wait here.
I can't remember. That was in his, what he gave us. I can't find off the top of my head here.
I think what he gave you at the last meeting had to do with a scanner.
Probably.
The body scanner.
Yeah, it was, because I thought he was gonna come in and talk about this, and
Because this was tabled. I wasn't here, but this one
Right.
was tabled. Dawn already had the meeting minutes done when I got back to work, so.
Good for her.
That was nice. Do
No,
I have-
I can't find it.
Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to table it till the next meeting, just because of the monthly charge. I think that we should discuss that. That's my own opinion, but that's what I feel.
Do we have a second to David
I'll agree with
tabling
that,
this?
Dave. Yeah.
We have a motion made by David, second by Stan, to table this. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. 5-0. Area planning, $1,200. This is a refund of building permits by order of the board and the zoning appeals. This coming from County General for $1,200. Tad, sir, would you like to introduce yourself and share with us?
Ted Redmond, planning and zoning. I issued a permit that was excessive, and the board revoked the permit and ordered the fee to be returned. I have no means of doing that.
Okay.
So that's why I asked for, that was the amount that he paid, that's what we're trying to.
okay,
see if we
I
can
make
get
a
back to.
motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Ron, seconded by Stan. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tad.
Now we have a request, I had a little bit of a typo. It's the auditor, and this is to pay for the comprehensive
Where you at?
plan.
This is a grant.
Where you at?
Well, this one right down here.
It says corner, I forgot to put auditor where the
Oh.
corner is.
Yeah, it's a little
I
bit of
have
a
to hand
typo.
type all that, guys, come on, give me some credit.
Yeah.
Mine still said coroner, so,
Well, mine did too, until I marked it out, put auditor.
okay.
So just mark that out. Put
Well,
auditor.
this is a grant, so I'm gonna make a motion
Okay, for 20,000. This is to help pay for the comprehensive plan.
for the auditor.
Ron has moved. Who's going to second the
I'll
motion?
second.
David? Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Amy, no conflict here.
Those opposed, same
No
sign.
conflict here if I vote, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No.
5-0.
We already have the money, you voted on it there, so you're just appropriating it.
Moving down to new business. Any new business, anyone?
Do we need to talk about the animal control at all?
Yes. The two co-chairs are right here, so
I'm red and her tail just
Ginny,
trying to
would you
keep
like
up.
to share? You want to introduce yourself and share?
No, I wasn't really prepared, it wasn't on the agenda, so I would have
Okay, we'll go
nothing
ahead.
for you guys.
Jimmy and I talked earlier today, and we were just discussing kind of like maybe a meeting. I know you were waiting, I think, to hear from Peg about whether or not we could use this.
Right, I don't know whether or not we need to have it advertised before we, so long before we actually have this meeting, and then we need to come up with a day. We talked something about Tuesdays,
Are we
possibly
think
at
it
7, so.
I don't think it has to be advertised.
It don't have to be.
Because we don't have
It's-
two commissioners there, we
committee.
do not have more than
Yeah, there'll be
4
just one commissioner.
council there.
Right, one council.
So I don't think it has to be advertised, because it's just a committee meeting.
Okay, so,
It's
okay.
not a public meeting, it's not
Right.
a special meeting, it's a committee that has no more than, like, if it had 2 commissioners on it, yes. Or if it had 4 council members on it, yes, that is a
We're just gonna
different
have one from
situation.
council, one from the commissioners.
3 from
Actually, I
council,
was
actually.
contacted by Tara today,
Okay,
and Tara Briggs, the director at the Department of Health, wants to
Animal
put
control
her,
meeting.
girl on this committee as well. Her name's Alicia Forwalt, and she investigates the dog bites for Ripley County.
Yeah, she's in the health department.
So she's in the health department, so we're gonna also have somebody from the health department on this committee. That's the only thing new.
I believe, I asked the commissioners, okay, and we'll call the auditor's office tomorrow.
No, you're actually going to email Becky.
I'll
Because
email
I'm gonna
Becky.
be out, I'm the only one that has the password to be able to get into that
Oh, okay.
calendar. So you're gonna
Okay.
have to call Becky.
We're going to email Becky about it being September the 16th, that's on a Tuesday, here at 7 PM, Ripley County Courthouse Annex Commissioners Room. It's air conditioned and restrooms and things at 7 PM.
Okay,
So we'll email Becky tomorrow. And so it's a public meeting. It is going to be about 3 weeks or so, even almost 4 weeks before the actual meeting. But it doesn't have to be advertised, but we want to get people, individuals involved and
Input.
for knowledge gain.
So it's the 2 of you, myself, David, Peg,
Yes, ma'am?
and then the representative from the health department. I think you told me the sheriff wanted to be there.
Sheriff
Yes.
Bradley
I don't
agreed
think
to do
David's
that.
in there.
I thought he was.
Didn't
Is
you
it not?
volunteer, David,
Maybe I
to
dreamed
be
that.
on the,
Sheriff Bradley?
well, no,
You.
didn't you volunteer?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, I didn't realize he was on there. Okay.
And is there anybody else that anybody knows of at this point?
There may be
I
more
thought
individuals
one of the
from the,
commissioners is, isn't
It's
it?
Roger.
3
Roger.
council, 1 commissioner, 1 health department, Ripley Care, and Lee Davidson.
and other people may come if they have an interest and want to share.
Lee Davidson.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a public meeting, it is a committee meeting.
It doesn't even have to be, just so you guys know, it doesn't have to
But-
be held here. You could do this anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be at this building. It could be at a restaurant, it could be at the park, it can be anywhere you want to do it at.
Here's the best place.
It is because of the fact that we've had meetings at restaurants, and when you get a rowdy group comes
Right,
in next
it's
to you,
better.
you can't hear.
Yeah.
What a nice place, why wouldn't we have it
It
here?
would be better to do
What's
it.
that?
If
If that's okay.
if the room is available that night.
Yes, we're hoping it is.
I'm sure it probably is, I can't say yes or no.
Right,
Okay, we got time to work on that.
right, okay.
And then,
Which
the oth-
room, which room?
This room.
This right here.
Yeah, you can either do it here or back there where
Yeah, you can do
everybody's
it here,
around the
back
big
here.
table.
Well, yes.
and then the other thing that we had discussed earlier today was the ordinances.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's something that I feel, and I don't know, you guys maybe can look into the ordinances yourselves, but what I have read online, the county ordinances, we really need to update those because,
Well, you want to just sort of, my input would be check with Dearborn counties, none of the cities. Cities are going to be completely different. But like Decatur County, Jennings County, Switzerland County, check the county ordinances, not the cities. Because the city ordinance is going to be completely different than a county ordinance.
If we would go meet with Dearborn County, let's say, or whoever,
All you got to do is you can get online and probably look their ordinance up.
well, I'm talking about meeting. How many people would you suggest would go do that? Could one person do it, or should there be 2 of us, 3 of us? What do you, what would you suggest?
You know, your whole committee could go if you wanted to, but the ordinance is going to be right there online. You can
But I'm
look up.
talking about if you want to meet with them and see the facility and kind of, how do they run things?
Yeah, well, that'll be up to you guys.
I didn't think you guys were wanting to like create a facility, just an ordinance
no,
with
no.
enforcement powers.
Right, we
And
don't-
an officer,
We give.
But it'd be
the,
nice to have an idea what equipment do they feel is essential to start out with? I mean,
Well, it's like now we give the Humane Society quite a bit of money, so if there are dogs, you know, if we're gonna go, this is just me talking, I'm not saying anything that this is what we're doing, but if we're going to have a resource person, it won't be an officer, it'll be a resource person, animal resource person, they will probably, sort of like we have with the dog warden, will have their own vehicle. They'll be paid so much a year. When they get animals, they will try to take them to Ripley County Community, or the
Humane Society.
Humane Society, thank you, because we give them a lot of money every year, so we don't have to build a building. So that would be one of the things that you guys just need to remember is,
Correct. Good.
John,
And
we
we got
felt like
two
last week, we discussed it, we
co-men-
thought this would be
co-leaders.
more than a title change and a new position. We felt like there was more involved in that. It would take more. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's the road we're going down.
Well, it would, and it probably should be someone who has law enforcement arrest power. I
Well,
would think.
Discuss that.
Yeah, but
What-
that's why the sheriff's gonna be on the committee.
They do not all have, not all animal control officers are deputized by the sheriff.
yeah, it's like, yeah,
And
they
not all
can
of them carry a weapon.
be, yeah, they can be deputized, but when we were talking to the chief deputy, he said it doesn't necessarily matter if they see an animal in a front yard and it's in dire need, they can go on. If it's in the backyard, they can't. If somebody says, hey, they have an animal and they can't see it, they don't have the right to go on because they can't see it. I can't argue with the law, I don't really like that, but I guess that's everybody's right.
But if they're breaking the law, wouldn't that be probable cause?
Well, you have to have the probable cause to go onto the property, and unless you can see the probable cause.
Well, if you can hear the dog barking, wouldn't that be
That's,
probable
that's a
cause?
nuisance
Well,
problem, and that would, absolutely.
They're not happy.
Well, yeah, I am not even gonna even try to touch that one because I have no clue. I'm not going there. I'm just going by what the chief deputy explained to us.
Got your email?
Okay.
No, I don't have any of my
All right,
contacts.
thank you. We're looking forward to this. Stephanie, do you have
I just had a
something?
question, kind of more for John. John, what's the process as far as being able to determine if the hypothetical, if we get an officer and if there's like, fines or something like that, how do you determine fines and who's enforcing them? I mean, who do you have to clear that through, I guess?
Well, I don't have your email, Stephanie, or your cell phone, and I don't have Andrew's or Diane's, but I just sent the four of you, because I was able to ask him for his cell number, a link to Dearborn County's animal control ordinance. And they have license fees. A license shall be issued after presenting a current rabies vaccination certificate and payment of the application fee in the amount $6 for each neutered male dog or spayed female dog, $11 for each unneutered male dog or unspayed female dog, a $200 yearly fee for each kennel license. Fee may be waived for nonprofit organizations. If there's duplicate license or permits to be obtained, that's a $1 replacement fee. No license required for certified seeing eye dogs, hearing dogs, government police dogs, or other dogs that are certified service dogs to assist the physically or emotionally handicapped. They talk about kennel license, vaccinations, cruelty.
Takes care of that, though.
Well, it's a good question. Probably a separate fund would have to be established, obviously, for all that. Talks about animal control officer and stuff. Staff, the director of the Dearborn County Animal Control shall be appointed by the commission on a yearly basis, can be removed at any time. Director may hire additional employees by following the procedures outlined in the Dearborn County Employee Handbook. Sworn to uphold and carry out and supervise the enforcement of this chapter. And of course, they grant authority to impound dogs running at large. that have bitten a person or another animal, impound vicious dogs, humanely destroy any domestic or wild animal when such action is needed. There's more language to it, obviously. Impoundment notice, fees and money collected. All fines due to a violation of this chapter shall be payable to the Dearborn County Animal Control, and money so paid shall be transmitted to the Dearborn County Treasurer and earmarked for use in operating the Dearborn County Animal Control. All license and permit fees shall be payable to the Dearborn County Animal Control. If PAWS, P-A-W-S, which I'm not sure what that is.
They're nonprofit.
Okay, issued the license or permit, $1 from said license or permit shall be retained by PAWS. So I guess they're kind of looking like if you're doing the administrative work, we'll give you a cut of the fee to help with your endeavors. Animal bites and quarantine, penalties. I'm looking for a fine amount if there is one. This is awful small print.
That's where Ripley County has a good opportunity to put money in this account to help support it with fines. I mean, if the ACO sees that there is a severe neglect case, we don't have to take the animals right then and there. You go in and you say, okay, this is clearly against this Indiana state law right now, is what we've got. But if we had clear, concise county ordinances, I used Versailles this morning at the commissioners meeting. Versailles town ordinances are very concise, and they do say in there exactly, I mean, we could copy off of them, except all the wording would have to be changed from city to county, you know, but they've got fines set up in there, $50 first offense, $75 second, third offense, $100, and if you don't quit doing what you're doing wrong, then the dog would be relinquished to the county, and then it would go down to China Pinnature at the Humane Society. That's the way the other counties are operating, pretty much.
To add to that, animal quarantine fees, I found the fines, and they also have quarantine fees. If a person voluntarily or is required by law delivers an animal to the Dearborn County Animal Control for the purpose of quarantining the animal, they shall be charged a fee of $150 payable to PAWS. So I presume PAWS must be operating the facility.
PAWS is like our Humane Society.
Okay. There's an additional fee of $20 per day for any animal not picked up after the mandatory 10-day quarantine period. This fee does not apply to adopted animals. If the owner does not pay the quarantine fee, a possible tax lien may occur. Now, they don't get into describing how that goes into place, and a tax lien would only be effective, I think, if the person actually owned real estate. So if it's a renter or a tenant who doesn't own property, I'm not sure we have any means of collecting on that. Owners who fail to recover their animal following the quarantine shall be deemed to have voluntarily abandoned their animal to the custody of PAWS and shall be liable for the aforementioned quarantine fees. Of course, that may be like getting blood out of a turnip. You never know.
This is true.
Basically, pursuant to local rules as necessary to enforce the penalties, animal control officers shall file the ordinance violation with any court in Dearborn County. Any person violating, and they have their various sections, commits a Class B infraction and may be fined up to $1,000 per occurrence. Of course, it would take a court imposing that fine, so they could come to court and try to defend themselves. Certain ordinances constitute a Class C infraction, which carries a fine up to $500 per occurrence.
There's ways for us to make money with this.
From a county standpoint, or from a criminal justice standpoint, or the judiciary standpoint, what's the proper procedure or the steps, I guess, as far as inquiring? If you go down in this, through these steps, is the prosecutor's office and the judge going to enforce it?
That's a good idea, and what you're pointing out there means possibly someone from the prosecutor's office and maybe one, Judge Sharp would probably handle. When you think of infractions, that's your moving violations, that's your speeding tickets. It's not a criminal offense, it's a civil infraction. You know, you get points on your license, there's your penalty, and you pay a fine and court cost. And of course, the way they do that is a cop catches you speeding or not using a turn signal or failure to yield the right of way. He writes you a ticket. It says hey, on or before this date right here, you need to appear at the court and basically show up. And of course, if you don't, then they'll put a warrant out for your arrest. And of course, with driver's license, they just give you an indefinite license suspension if you don't pay the ticket or show up in court on time. With this, I presume there'd be a warrant out, for them to appear. But how heavily, I think you ought to know that going into it, to what degree, and you're making a great point, Stephanie. Is the prosecutor on board with pursuing this, no different than a traffic ticket if we reach this situation? I think it's a valid question. Or is he already covered up with enough stuff that, I don't know. So,
Maybe you all are gonna reach out to Judge Sharp and also the prosecutor, or you wanna do one meeting first and kinda get everything in line and
you're
then,
ready.
My thought is maybe you Sheriff Bradley or Lee, I mean, that maybe is something they can inquire about since it's sort of in their lane or whatever, to speak with the prosecutor's office and or the judge's office about whether or not they want to be involved in the meetings or whether or not they're willing to enforce it.
so you all wanna pursue that?
Yeah, I could talk to them about that.
I have a question. You said about all these different people, if you're gonna have the Humane Society, which they do try to take most of them unless they are full, but when she on this committee also, so she knows what's going on?
Who was that?
China Pillager, she's the director of the Ripley County Humane Society. She's the one that's making the changes at the Ripley County Humane Society right now. All for the good.
I mean, she would be involved, she would receive.
She
the
comes to
info.
our care meetings, and she's involved with care.
I
because
think that'd be up to the 5 or 6, 7 of you that's
Well,
working on
I'm just
this.
asking that question because you were saying the dog needs to go to.
If it's
the
okay
county's
with
giving
council,
money.
I would highly recommend China being part of this committee.
That's up to your
I
committee.
think
Okay.
it'd be an important part. We got 2 co-chairs here and
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like there's
She's going
already,
to receive the
If,
animal.
if she's gonna be receiving the animals, I think she ought to be on the committee.
yeah, whether or not their facility or their property has, the capability of taking on more if needed.
And like what they do at the city of Batesville within the town through Payne, another nonprofit organization. Payne has got a facility at the street department where they have got just 4 kennels but they're gonna add 2 more now here soon because they got money through Batesville City Council. So they're gonna add money and they're gonna put heating and cooling in the building, and they're also gonna put a washer and dryer in there so they can keep the animals bedding, clean and stuff. So they're gonna end up with like 6 indoor-outdoor kennels there in the street department. So it doesn't have to be a big fancy building or anything, you just gotta have someplace to go with them, where you got a concrete floor where you can clean in case of disease, you gotta be able to sanitize, so that, to keep it, so the county's not liable for spreading disease.
oh, sure, yes. You think we feel comfortable?
I
Co-chair?
think we do, I think we do.
And this is a wonderful step forward
Yes, it is.
that, looking at the opportunity. Old business?
Well, I know last week at the budget meeting, we did not discuss this as a council. So I just want to make everything clear here. So in '26, we are not going down the road of a excise tax or a wheel tax. Is that correct?
Well, we've already got an excise tax.
Okay,
The wheel tax,
Count.
I agree with you,
Count.
no wheel tax.
okay. I'm not saying, I'm just saying
Right.
that we are going down that road. We're not going to have them, correct?
That's how I feel. I don't want to impose a wheel tax.
Okay.
David, wheel tax? Any discussion? Wheel tax?
Yeah, I was under the impression that, yes, we had all pretty much,
Okay.
no, that hopefully trucking companies want to come to Ripley County.
I was going to say, you might convey that information to Gary Norman.
Already did.
Paul Rowe moved their operating facilities and their maintenance thing here. It's probably a plus for them if we're not gonna do that.
Oh, man, think about it. You got Crum Trucking, you got Baxter, you got Batesville Casket. Look at all these big
Well,
companies.
still at Baylor, I think.
Well, look at the big trucking, the big trucking line was Baylor, and they got bought out, if I'm not mistaken, by Werner Express.
Oh, did they?
And they're like one of the top 10 trucking companies in the country. So they own,
But you don't know where they license their vehicles out.
right, but they still own that property over there. That's a good reason for them to just start.
Well, it's, if nothing else, it's very possible they may want to move their headquarters here.
For sure.
Maybe not
I
necessarily.
think it's a great, and like Andrew said that one evening, it's a great opportunity to bring a lot of business back to Ripley County that will cover this tax. And we, like he said, we already implemented a safety tax. Last thing we want to do, and I agree 100%, is put another tax on, even though the state's the one that's saying, hey, either you do this or we're going to possibly take your money away.
Well, there's no doubt, they're going to limit how much we can get at if we don't have it. But as, things have been pointed out since I kind of approached the subject matter, that it might behoove you, if you can get your chipping and sealing and some of your paving done more economically, do you need the state's money?
Or the wheel tax, you mean?
Well,
Yeah.
both, because you definitely get cut on the one by not having it.
Yeah.
But maybe there's more to be gained by, as you're thinking, not having it.
Yeah.
Stephanie, would you like to share about wheel tax?
That was, my understanding as well, that we were just kind of not pursuing that at this time.
Do we need to make a motion and vote on that, or do we, no?
It'd be a negative action, like we vote
Wouldn't
not
be
to do one, it's like, it's not even on the table for discussion at this point.
Okay.
There's a consensus that says you don't need it.
So if you're outside of Ripley County and you want to come to the county, no wheel tax.
Any public comment?
I think it's a great idea not to have the wheel tax.
Contact Ripley Publishing.
Call Gary Norman, Ripley County Economic Development, if you'd like to come here and set up your terminals.
Southeastern Indiana Regional Planning, Diane, she was unavailable to join us this evening. Solid Waste District,
We have a meeting Wednesday night right here, so that's, when we'll learn more.
Stan?
I have nothing. No.
We need to sign our paperwork. Anything else?
I have one question just that came to me after our budget hearings. I don't know how anybody else feels, but it seems like, maybe it's me being the new person, it seemed like kind of a whirlwind from the time I came in on Tuesday morning and we were discussing not, with respect to raises and longevity, it went from like we've kind of waited too long to like all of a sudden it happened. And I just wondered if there's any interest in like sending a communication or a letter or anything out to like employees just saying that we've done that for 2026, but that we're going to be taking kind of a more in-depth or harder look at it kind of moving forward, and it could change. I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but just
I think
wanted to ask.
everybody in this building knows exactly what went on.
I think that's a wonderful suggestion. I asked if the council wanted to have not all the staff come in, but according to alphabet, a third come in and discuss with us a half hour before. Of course, public information given out that at 5:30 we're going to be discussing this, and it died. So if that's something that we need to pursue, I think it would be wonderful to start that and have that discussion going early. Do you want to discuss that for our next meeting, if we're going to pursue it? But just break it down, A through E or F, however the alphabet breaks down over X number of times, and have people come in and express and share what they feel the phrases or how we approach things.
Are you talking about employees or office holders and supervisors?
We could break it down however, the office holder or supervisor or different staff, limited to those offices, A through something, and just have a sincere discussion of it, so we know how people feel. We go around and we ask and talk to individuals, but this would be a little bit more of a, definite fact finding. Let's put that on the agenda for next month and sincerely look at it, and that'd be September, October, November, or we could do it January, February, however you feel, suggestions. And we'll get that put down for our next meeting.
I'm
You
gonna
want
bring
the
up,
next meeting to start at 5:30?
No, ma'am, at 6, but in the future, do we want to hear what staff, individuals, the office holders, you break it down however you feel, and if we want to start to initiate that, we have to give public notice, but anyway, it's a thought, or do you want to do it after the meeting or not do it? Your thought.
my thing, I've said this multiple times, is I would still like to look into bringing a company in that knows what they're doing with HR, let them go through all the offices. They can say, okay, this person's making too much, not enough. We wouldn't take pay away, or if they even say you have too many employees, we wouldn't lay anybody off, but that wouldn't be, in my eyes, they wouldn't be replaced. Or they could say, you're not making enough, and then we need to give that employee a raise. That's been I've said that for the last 5 years. I'd love to bring a company in and let them evaluate, because even though I own a business, I can't go through and say, this is what Amy's office says, this is what these people should make, or the treasurer, or whomever. I don't know how to do that. I'm not here. There's companies that do that for counties, and they would have all this information. That's been something I've thought about.
Would the fact book give us good numbers on that?
For us to do it,
Just curious.
I can't tell you what our auditor's office has to do compared to Decatur County's offices, auditor, I'm sorry. To me,
Like if
you know,
you
you
took-
want
if
to
you
look
took-
at the numbers, but she runs a really tight ship, and she has 3 employees. I think Decatur County might have 5 girls in their auditor's office. So it's hard to look at another county and say, yeah, let's look at what they're making, but you follow what I'm saying?
They also have an HR director, and they also have an administrative assistant.
And they
My
have,
office does all of that.
and they have 4 in technology, or 3, I'm sorry, in technology.
So I'm underpaid, yes.
See what I'm saying? That's why that's why I've been about this. This company can come in. It's not going to be just the local counties. They do Indiana. They do Ohio. They do Kentucky. They know what, that's always been my thought. And
I went,
maybe I'm totally wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I went to newly elected official training back in January, and I sat with a council member from Hendricks County, and he said they had just recently done that, like a wage study, and he said it was very helpful to their county.
We'll
think-
need
I
to
think-
remember that, because we'll discuss this in our business next month, get our thoughts together, that we can be composed and come. Anything else? We've signed our paperwork, we've returned that to the auditor. I'll need a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to interrupt for a minute. I'm looking at Franklin County's animal control ordinance.
Oh, good,
And I
okay,
looked
thank
at
you.
Jennings County. Decatur County doesn't seem to be visible, but anyway, they basically have a thing where if the determination of a dog, if it's vicious, is determined by the animal control officer, an appeal can be held to the Board of Appeals, which in their case is the Franklin County Commissioners. I think you better be sure that the commissioners would want to serve in that capacity of saying, your dog's vicious and it's got to go or it's not got to go. That,
Now, we will have a commissioner on the committee, so,
my point is, a lot of different places have done it differently as to who's the ultimate decision maker. So those are all online. If a person just types in those, we can take a look at them. I'll try to get those, find them, print them off, and I'll email them to you if that's easier.
that'll be great.
We'll go
Thank
from
you.
there. But there's a lot of interesting stuff out there.
Sure. Maybe if you do that, I can print them off and give them to the co-leaders, and they can have that at their committee meeting.
Certainly, I'll send it to PDF, and I have everyone's email address.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn? We have a motion to adjourn by Stan. Do we have a second?
That's not.
I'll second.
So moved by Stephanie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
So on this one right here, what can we